And I had different nicknames in high school, which was also funny because in different friend cliques, I had different nicknames. And so there was Fun Size, there was Little Bit, there was Shorty. And it was funny when certain ones would call me stuff or somebody outside of the group would be like, "What's up, Shorty?" And they're like, "No, no, 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 no. You're not in our clique. Like, you can't call her that. No."
So when it came to your dating life, right? How
Uh-huh.
was it?
Chafuwa Meza, tuko Nairobi tuna Chafuwa Meza. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza, tuko in the city. Chafuwa Meza, all kings in the building. All kings in the building. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza, tuko Nairobi tuna Chafuwa Meza. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza, tuko in the city. Chafuwa Meza.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Chafuwa Meza podcast. Today, I have a special guest. Actually, two guests on a Friday night. This is going to be a good one. But before I start the show, guys, I want to give you a chance to go ahead and introduce yourselves. So, to my left, I have...
Colleen.
To the far left, Matt.
And of course, I'm your host, Lemmy G. So, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I can't complain. I want to thank you guys for coming over, especially on a Friday.
Yes.
I know you probably had plans for Friday. I don't know. But I'm assuming since you guys have a couple.
I think this is like the first Friday we've been free in a long time.
Really?
Busy.
Yes.
Just working or just traveling? Or both?
Well, my son just finished with basketball, doing rec basketball and school basketball. And so we were doing games during that, and now he's in baseball season. So we've got baseball practice and games going on, and then Matt owns his own business. So he's been doing all working.
Work.
Man, life sucks, man. It's all about work.
Work,
right?
gym. Work, gym.
Man, tell me about it, man. That doesn't sound like fun, man.
It's not bad when you're doing it for yourself and you enjoy what you do.
I mean, it's true, but I'd rather be at the beach just chilling,
I
relaxing.
Yeah.
can't argue with that.
You know what I mean?
Can't argue with that.
That
Can't
sounds
argue
better
with
to
that.
me.
Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that.
And the weather here has been so up and down here lately that it's
bipolar.
like,
I think like it's everywhere.
Crazy.
It's everywhere right now. It's just crazy. I mean, today is snowing, tomorrow is sunny, next day is rainy.
and
Like,
next Wednesday is supposed to be like 80 degrees. It
You
was,
see?
what, 50 something today, and it's supposed to be 80 in like 4 or 5 days.
yeah, it's just all over the place. You can't even tell. So right now, you probably when you leave your house in the morning, you carry everything: the umbrella, jacket, t-shirt.
You never know.
Yeah, you just never know. Exactly.
Prepared.
Yeah. So, Colleen, how you doing?
Good.
So this episode is specifically for you today. I mean, we got a plus one. We're gonna help you with the questions as we go, or at least with the story as we go. But we want to hear your story, man, because this is a unique story, especially when it comes to my fans, right? Tell us your story. So, obviously, you were born like this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, tell us, okay, just run the whole process, because when you were born, obviously, you didn't know anything about this situation. You never knew you liked that until when you grew up a little bit, and then you realize, okay, I'm a bit different from everybody else, right?
So, well, yes and no. So my daddy is actually a little person too. And then my dad's mother was a little person. And we all have achondroplasia, which is the most common dwarfism in the world. There's over 300 different types, and achondroplasia is the most known, which means my torso is average and my arms and legs are just shorter. And so I'm actually 4 foot even. My dad is 4'4", and his mom was, I think she was 4'4" too. And so as I got older, I grew up with my dad, so I didn't see anything really different. But when I got more in like middle school and high school is when some of the stuff was more noticeable, and like kids would say stuff. And luckily, I feel like I was lucky with how kids were brought up when I was in school than now, because now kids just say whatever comes to their
Of
head.
course, yeah.
And back then, some people would be like, "Hey, like, why are you different?" Or like,
Some form of
"What's going?"
respect.
Yeah, there was like
Exactly.
more respect in it. Like, years ago. I did have here and there picking on people, but like especially in high school, there was another little person that went to the same high school as me. She was a senior and I was a freshman. And I had people or friends that would not talk to me my freshman year because they thought we were the same people. And she was mean.
Same person.
Yeah, or same person, yeah. She was mean. And so they didn't want to be friends with me because they thought that I was her. And so my sophomore year, I had a few that were like, are you the nice one? Or are you the mean one? And I'm like, well, I want to be mean to you now because why would you ask me that question?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm the cool, fun one until you cross the line.
Very true.
And I had different nicknames in high school, which was also funny because in different friend cliques, I had different nicknames. And so there was Fun Size, there was Little Bit, there was Shorty. And it was funny when certain ones would call me stuff or somebody outside of the group would be like, what's up, Shorty? And they're like, no. You're not in our clique. Like, you can't call her that. No. And I was a cheerleader in high school, which was awesome. I tried out in middle school, and they told me that my jumps weren't high enough. So they didn't put me on the middle school team. But when I tried out in high school, the coach was like, we're going to throw you in the air. Let's go. And so I was flyer for my junior and senior year. I did flying, and I was on the cheer team, which was amazing, and I loved it. And then as an adult now, most of the time there's not really any issues here and there. Like if every now and then you get somebody being stupid. And as I've gotten older, I decide when is the time to ignore it and when is the time to be like, okay, you need to stop because you're being ridiculous. And especially having a son, my son is average height and he is 5. He's shorter than you. What are you?
He's probably 5'2".
Yeah, he's 5'2"
5'3".
now and he's 12.
Still, still growing.
And
But let's hold on. Let's back up for a little bit because you
okay.
Jumped all the way in.
You
Jumped
told
all
me
the
to tell
way
you
in.
everything, so I'm just letting it out.
It's cool, but let's back up a little bit, right? Now, when you're in school, right? I'm pretty sure at some point you realize, yo, hold up, man, something different about yourself. Everybody's a bit taller than you, right?
Yeah.
Did you feel some type of way?
I did, and yes and no, because I have like a big personality. So if you got something to say, or if I got something to say, I'm gonna say it. And so I was very well known in school because of my personality and like I wanted to be friends with everybody and stuff like that. The only time that I felt more singled out was when we would go into class for like the first day of school and the teacher was like, okay, here's your assigned seat and you're sitting right here in the very front. And I'm like, just because I'm short doesn't mean I got to sit in the very front. Like I can sit on the second row. I can still see.
Yeah.
I just I don't need to sit in the front row. And but they always would. They would always put me in the front row. Or they would do it by your last name, which my last name starts with a T. So I would be in the very back, which I was like, yes, I'm in the very back. And then they would realize that I was in the back, and they were like, hold on, we're going to have to switch some things. I'm like, here we go. Let me go to the front.
Did you ever think they probably can't see you?
So, I have a funny story to tell you about that later. Because something about that happened recently at jury duty. But no, I just feel like they felt like that since I was short, I couldn't see, and I could. But I also had, way back when, now it's called an IEP, but when I was in school, it was called a 504. And I had a cushion that went on the back, because when I sat in a chair, my butt would, I'd scoot back, and my feet just dangled. Well, that hurts my legs. And so I had a stool and a cushion, so if I sat up in the chair like everybody else, I could put my feet on the stool, and then I'd have the cushion, because if not, there'd be a gap. And I wanted to pick when I could use it. The teachers wanted me to use it all the time. And so that would also happen on the first day. They'd be like, hey, your stool and your cushion, it's over there. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Like, why you gotta tell me that? I can
Exactly,
see
right?
it, but okay. And
That one right there.
yeah, I'm like, that over there. And they're like, you need to go get it. And I'm like, I'll get it in a little bit. Like, I'm good. So I think that was the biggest, like, when I was more noticed or when I started noticing it more. But I've always felt like
Just regular.
I'm just me.
Yeah. Were people teasing you? At least mocking you, making jokes?
Not really.
Nothing?
Mm-mm.
I mean, you got lucky.
I know. Yeah, I
you
did.
got
Because
really
I've heard
lucky.
some stories from other people, other little people, when we have conventions and stuff. And they're like, I've had this happen and I've had that happen. The only big thing that I had happen that me and my mom went to the office about, it was when I was in high school. There was a young girl, and she acted like if I touched her, she would shrink. And people laughed about it, and like her friends had gotten to the point, because some of her friends were my friends, and they were like, why are you acting like that? Like, she glued herself to the wall one day because I was walking down the hall. And
Whoa.
it got to the point, that's when I really started saying like stuff to I don't know what to come back with. Because I started going down the hall and she would glue herself, and I'm like, wow, you're going to shrink if I touch you. And like, it was just ridiculous. And she was in one of my classes one time. She got switched.
Touch her.
And no. So the only table that was available was beside me. And she told the teacher, she like whispered in her ear.
Lunch table or
No, the only table in the classroom.
in the classroom? Okay.
Was beside me. And so and it was the last seat that was left, and she got switched into the classroom. And I already knew when she walked in, I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. And so she whispered something to the teacher, and I knew what she was saying. And all the teacher said was, oh my God, that is ridiculous. You can't do that to people. Go over there and sit down. And she moved the chair to the wall.
Oh, yeah?
And like, she came and sat beside me, but moved the chair all the way to the wall. Well, then we had to pass papers down. And so I passed the paper down, and she wouldn't touch it. And I was like, are you serious? Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so I'd gone home and I talked about it here and there. And finally, Mom, especially when she glued herself to the wall, like I was going to do something to her, my mom went in and they were like, okay, well, here's what we can talk to her. We can see what we can do. And they're like, but we kind of can't do anything because it's not like physical, or like you're not bullying or whatever. But that was like the biggest thing in school that happened. I would feel that was like more outstanding.
Like outlandish.
Outlandish.
I
Because
mean,
everybody else was like, oh, cool.
super nice.
Mhm.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you got lucky. You really got lucky.
Just the short one. Just the short one.
Right
Mini.
now? Oh, my
I
God.
know
man.
nowadays it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like, it's funny how things have changed too. And I blame some of it on the parents and adults because they're not educating.
It's all the parents.
And like, we went when my son was, I know I'm jumping ahead, but when my son was younger, he was probably 2 or 3, and we were walking around in Target, and there was a little girl in the shopping cart, and she was about the same age. She was maybe 3 or 4. And I love when little kids whisper because they think they're whispering, but they're not. And she goes, Mom, is that her brother or is that his mommy? And she was like, well, why don't you ask her?
Yeah.
And so she goes, is that your brother or are you his mommy? And I said, I'm his mommy. And she goes, you have pretty hair. And she was like, oh, I was like, that was so sweet. And my mom was on the other side of the aisle, and she came around and she was like, I just want to thank you for like acknowledging that she asked you a question, because most people, when the kids like point me out in stores and stuff, they either tell them to hush or keep on walking. They don't take the time to be like, everybody's different. Like, there's different things. Some people you can see on the outside. Some people you can't see because it's on the inside.
That's very true. That's
And
very true.
but that's one of, like, I think the most heartwarming things was when she was like, "You're so pretty."
Wow. But okay, still in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming when you're in high school, right? When you go for lunch,
Cafeteria.
when you get in your lunch, remember that line you have to make to get your food?
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming that was the same time as my time. Like we used to go to school when I get your food, you have to make a line and then you
And
get
go
your-
in the cafeteria and all that fun
good
stuff.
stuff. Yes, yes. So at that time, nobody was bullying you, making jokes, nothing. Even making on that line because I know that sometimes they'd be like, "Yo, who's next?"
Every now and then they'd be like, I'd be standing there and they'd kind of look like, "Why aren't you moving?" I'm like, "Can you reach that for me?" But I took my lunch most days. But that was just personal preference. But when I would go in to get lunch from school, I had a lot of friends. And I had a lot of friends that backed me up. And we joked, like we would joke about short jokes. Like I joke about being short all the time. But there's that line of like where it's a joke and where it's not a joke. And it was funny because like at lunch, if we were joking around and stuff, there was always a look or like a tone. And if I said it, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I know I crossed the line."
Yeah,
But I'm like, it's fine. But you also know where that line is.
yeah.
But yeah, I sat in the chairs that we had at lunch and I didn't have issues like they do nowadays.
Nobody
feel
was trying
like-
to carry you around in school. Like, come here.
There were some where I would let them, but
We were just the
They didn't
assholes in school, I guess.
try,
I guess we were just the assholes in high school.
I will say though, this is a funny thing. So when I was in school though, most boys, because that was when like saggy pants were a thing, like a big thing, and they were all trying to like make it pull them up. Well, my view is your butt. I don't want to see your underwear. And I had a lot of friends that I'd be like, "Hey," and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And because they knew if they didn't pull them up, I'd go behind them and pull them up for them.
Yeah,
Because I don't want to look at your butt.
the whole time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And
Yeah.
we had two, I think they were juniors and seniors my freshman and sophomore year. They were one was 6'5", and the other
Damn,
one was
big
close
boy.
to being 7. They played on basketball.
Big boy.
Yeah, definitely.
They walked. Let me just tell you. Long legs doesn't mean you walk fast. And you got 5 minutes to get from one end of the school to the other end of the school.
Yeah.
And it never failed. I get behind one of them. And one day I was joking and I was like, I'm just going to walk under their legs because
I'm just gonna walk under you.
yeah, I'm going to walk up. Like, I couldn't walk around
Oh,
them
you
because
crazy.
the hallways are like a road.
Yeah.
You walk this way and you walk that way. So I was like, I'm going to walk under them. They were like, Colleen, please do it. Please do it one day. And I'm like, well, I don't want them to like be like, what the heck's happening here? I never did it, but it came real close some days
Shame.
because they were so slow. And I was friends with one of them, and then he graduated, but I think he was a 7'1". But yeah, they played basketball, which helped out.
Wow. So high school, that was nothing crazy. That was just normal life. That's nothing crazy. Okay, now you graduate high school, go to college. Anything happen crazy in college?
No, I went to pastry school.
Started off pretty nice out there.
And the only difference in pastry school was I had to get a surf safe stool, which had like suction cups on it. So it had wheels, but it also had suction cups. And what I did was I went to the cooking school in Charlotte and looked at that one. And then there was one that was right by the airport at Raleigh-Durham. And so the one at Raleigh-Durham had a pastry department that was separate. And I went in 2 days, and we tested some different things, like, can I do this? If this is a test, can I do this by myself, or am I going to need help? Because if I need help, are they going to deduct points? Because I had help, where everybody else isn't going to have help. And So I went in and we tested it out and then got the stool and everything was smooth sailing.
Okay. So now when you graduate and now you come to the real world, right? Now you meet everybody. You meet the assholes, you meet the good people, you meet all kinds of people.
We're all here. We're all here.
Exactly. Everybody's out here. Now what happens? How was your experience? Especially when you're looking for a job. When you go looking for a job, they're looking at you funny, right?
Yes. So when I got out of pastry school, I applied to 30. I had a list of it. I think I still have a list. I had applied to 36 different bakeries. And some were online, some were in person. And I went to one in person or to hand my application in. And the lady literally looked at me and was like, "Ha, good luck. You probably won't ever get a job in a pastry department." And I was like, "Okay, bye." So I went and applied at Gigi's Cupcakes. And the owner there came and met me, had the best interview ever, never talked about anything about my size. And at the very end, because I brought the stool with me because I knew I was probably going to need it. And I brought the stool with me and I was like, "Just so you know," I call it my best friend. I'm like, "I brought my best friend." And they're like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "My stool. I brought a stool." And he was like, "That was the only thing I was going to ask you was if we needed to make any accommodations for you." And I was like, "No, I brought my stool."
Wait. So so you're still like your handbag. Everywhere you go, you gotta carry, it, right?
Yeah, I have so many different stools. I got one in my car right now.
Prepared.
I could go get it.
Prepared.
I have the ones, my favorite ones are the ones that like you grab the middle and it goes flat. I like those.
We don't know. We have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know what them...
Trust me.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he has no idea what stool you're talking about.
Not even we don't have that.
I'm sure
Don't
they
put this on
know.
me. Don't put this on me. This is on you.
It's like they have different sizes. So they have some that are like this tall, and then they have some that are like that tall. And you push it down, and when you're done, you put your hand in the middle and pull up, and it's a little handle, and it flattens.
Right.
Oh, I'll show you later.
Oh,
Which
you never
one I'm
seen
talking about.
You've not seen it before?
I'm not in this.
And they keep pointing fingers at me.
I will climb. I will move chairs. You tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove you
You're gonna
wrong.
make it happen. So how many times have you fallen from that chair?
Maybe twice.
Maybe twice.
It all depends on how dangerous the situation is. Because, like, most time it's like if I'm in a big hurry, I don't like asking for help, and you can ask anybody around me. I don't like asking for help, and it's very, very rare when I ask for help because I'm going to figure out how to do it, and it might be a different way, but I'm going to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Very independent.
I like that. You know, now, when you went to the DMV for the first time, right? I'm pretty sure they were shocked as well. Now looking at you crazy, like, whoa, is this a whole grown person or is it a kid? Like, what's going on? How was that experience?
So I have on my license, on like the little back part or now they can scan it, but I have pedo extensions. So on my license, it says like, it has a little star or something and it says, has pedo extensions. So when we did the driver's test, I'm sure that person was nervous as all could be. But I had to take my dad's car because my mom's car doesn't have pedal extensions. My dad did. And so I took my dad's car up there and I did the test. And it's funny because now they can like move the cameras up and down. Where way back then it was like stationary. So I had to sit in a chair or stand in a chair to get my picture like when I got my permit and my license. But now, because I got it done, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, I got it renewed. And she goes, I was like, "Do I need to pull a chair up?" And she goes, "No, hold on." And I could see the camera and it was like, and I was like, "Oh, we got fancy now."
Wow. Okay. So it wasn't that bad.
Mm-mm.
No bad experience.
No.
Okay, so people are used to that. But you driving now, 'cause,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can't just drive any car, right? Obviously.
Yeah, I can drive any car. I've always driven big vehicles. I started with a minivan, then I went to a truck, and now I have a flex, but I call it a mini Tahoe because that's what it looks like.
Wait, I thought your car has to be made special for you.
No.
Mm-mm.
So you can just, any regular car right now, you can just jump in and drive.
Yep.
Yeah,
How you gonna do it? Do you have anything with you?
I have pedal extensions. All I need is a wrench, and I can pop my pedal extensions off, pop them on the car, put my pillow in, and keep on rolling.
Oh, word. Look at you.
Now there are, I will say, like in my case, I can do that. But like in some of the other cases, we can get special cars made that have the gas and the brake on the steering
Yeah,
wheel.
I've seen those ones. Yeah.
And then we can also get like some of them or some little people that are in wheelchairs and stuff, they can get it to where the wheelchair goes straight up to the steering wheel. Which is just like any other handicapped person that's in a wheelchair. They can do that. But yeah, in my case, I can just take the pedals off, hook them on somebody else's car, and roll.
Just good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So do you consider yourself handicapped?
I don't.
But they do.
I'm just different. But label wise, technically I am.
You are.
But I don't consider myself.
But you have the
as-
stick in your car, right? Like.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say.
I only use that at Christmas time though, when shopping is crazy.
Good parking spot.
Yeah.
I'm about to
But
say.
like I mean there's people out there that which I know you can't see everybody's conditions, but I feel like there's some people out there that get one because they just don't want to walk into this, like park here and walk into the store.
Very true, but sometimes I feel some type of way because sometimes you're looking for a parking spot and the only spot open is the handicap spot, and then everything else is taken. I'm like, yo, yo, pass me that thing real quick.
But
I just want to park right here.
But see, I'm like, even with like he knows, I don't pick that spot first. I have the option to, but I don't pick that spot first.
Man, you nice. I want to pick it first because it's right there.
right.
It's just right there.
Right
Like,
at the door, man. Right at the door. Right at the door.
especially when it's cold or raining.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I want to park right there, man. Come on, man. Okay. So, damn. Whoa, life is really.
It was a lot different, 20 years ago?
Obviously, there was no technology has really evolved since then. Yeah, so a lot has changed. I've seen a lot of little people right now driving 18-wheelers. You know what I mean? Which is
And a lot
insane.
of us have the motivation of like, you tell me I can't do it, I'm going to go prove you wrong.
I like that. That's the way to go, man. Wow. So let's jump to the good part right now. This is where I know everybody want to know what's up, man. So when it came to your dating life, right? How was it? Especially the first time, it's like, whoa, who's gonna really want me?
That was a fun adventure. What are you huffing over there for? So
Here we go. Here we go.
the beginning of dating, and like it took me getting older and older and seeing like what was real and what wasn't real, because there was
So you didn't date in high school?
I had a boyfriend my freshman year, and then after that I didn't.
You did.
I had a lot of friends that were like guys that I liked, but I didn't date in high school.
Did you go to prom
Yes,
School
I went with
dances?
girls.
with girls?
Yeah, it was so much fun because we did our own thing and we didn't have to worry about nobody else.
Oh man, you should have told me. I should have came to that. That sounds like a fun cycle, man. Only just girls? Oh shit, whatever, man.
We all got dressed at one house. We did our hair at one house, got in a limo, and we rolled out.
Oh man, I didn't have no limo, but I popped out. All right, let's go to the dating side. Okay, so you went for the first time. Okay,
So after high school is when I guess I really got into dating. And there was a guy that I talked to for a while, but he never wanted to like commit. And I don't know if it was because he didn't want to say he was dating a little person or what. I didn't meet many of his friends.
but
which
he's
I'm
the one
sure
who approached you, right?
we met on an app.
Oh, it's on an app.
So
Okay. Did he know?
yeah, because
No.
I'm straight up with you.
Sometimes it's catfishing. Just like,
Oh yeah.
I'm cool.
No, I'm straight up with
True,
you. I'm
true.
like, here's the thing. This big. If you ain't ready for like to be looked at or to be talked about, then you need to roll.
Or if you're not ready to reach for stuff in the
Yep.
house for me,
If you don't want to reach for stuff, then you
get
can
the hell
roll.
out of here.
But there was a good chunk of time as I got older that it was a lot of I just want to date you so I can check something off the bucket list.
Oh, man. So the assholes, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they would say whatever they wanted to so that they could try and check it off. And when they figured out that they couldn't, then they were like, oh, peace out. And I'm like, but you just said that you weren't in for that.
Yeah.
And so that was hard to go through. And then I met him, Mr. Matt.
Okay, before we get to him, before we get
Mr.
to him real
Matt.
quick, right? Before we get to him, because I'm pretty sure there's so many times you probably had guys you probably liked and you try to make a move on them, or maybe you wanted them to talk to you, but they look at you funny, like,
Oh yeah.
no, I can't do that. That happened.
I had quite a few that I was really like interested in, and it hurt really bad when I found out that they didn't want to. Like, I went on a date with a guy, and he claimed that he wasn't in, like, he was fine with everything. He was okay dating me, and the very next day he deleted me on everything and blocked me on everything.
Oh shit!
And I was like,
Was it that bad?
seriously? Yeah, I'm like, but you said you were fine with everything. So, like, if you're going to lie about it, like, come up with a better lie. Or play it out a little longer or something. Or tell me you're not interested. I don't care. Like, don't just go and immediately block people after you said the night before you were cool with everything.
So okay, speaking of going out, right? When they're taking you out on dates, let's say, for example, if you forget to bring your stool, because you say like every you go, you bring. Now what happens? They usually bring you the baby seat in there in that restaurant, or what happens? Or they just let you sit on a regular
It's not
seat?
the baby seat. It's the kids menu.
Oh, it's
I've gotten kids menus all the time. Which,
kill
don't get
me.
me wrong, I love games and coloring. Why are you about to die over there? I love coloring and playing the little word search and the games and stuff. But I could eat like a grown person. I don't want no kids menu. And it's always funny to see, like, when the waitress or the waiter, it clicks. Because sometimes it clicks as they're grabbing it. Sometimes it clicks when we get to the table. And then sometimes it never clicks. And when the waitress comes to take drink orders, I'm like, can I get a regular menu? And they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, you sure? You might want to go talk to somebody.
I know, right? So, but what about when you're buying drinks? Because now they really have to see your ID.
Yes. So sometimes it's a hit or miss. There'll be some of them you can tell on their face. They're like, I don't want to ask because I don't want to be embarrassed. And I've had few, which I understand, like, it's the law, like, you're supposed to check. And they're like, I have to check everybody's. I'm not doing this because I don't think that you're not an adult. And I'm like, no, I know. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, here. And they're like, okay, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, it's
okay.
fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's okay. They're like, I just feel bad. And I'm like, no, I mean, I'd rather you do that than get in trouble.
I mean, of course, yeah, that's very true, man. So now, I'm assuming, of course, you've been to clubs before, right? Mm-hmm. How's the experience in there? Because now, of course, like you say, remember when you were in school, everybody's butt was like on your face. Now I'm trying to imagine on a dancing floor, like
Same thing.
Exactly.
So going to clubs, I love to dance. Love to dance. You're shaking your head over there. I do. So that is my jam when I go in there. And a lot of times I didn't go by myself. I would go with either one person or a group of people. So I already knew some people that kind of had my back. And there would be it was always interesting because I'm a crowd watcher. And I would get out there and dance, and then you would see like a girl, and she would go and like snatch this boy away. And I'm like, honey, I ain't trying to steal your man. I'm just trying to have a good time. And I'm like, but I love to dance. And most of the times, though, when I would dance, it was like a magnet, and everybody would like spread away. And then it would just be me, and I'm like, no,
It's
no,
okay.
no. Y'all can dance with me.
Yeah.
And so I had a few friends that, like, if that happened, they would jump in.
Okay.
Or we would go get drinks. Or, like, go to the bathroom. Or go somewhere else. So it wasn't, like, that noticeable. But...
You know, actually, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, it'll be the other way around. Like, people really stepping on your
Right.
feet. You know what I mean? Not
Right.
really seeing you, probably pushing you around.
every now and then I'd get bumped into. And then it was like, oh, shit. And then
didn't
it was
see
like,
it.
oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And then they would be like, hey, look. I'm like, really? Why? Just why?
Or sometimes they bump into you and then pour a drink on you by mistake.
I haven't had a drink poured on me.
Nothing?
Knock on wood. I haven't had that.
Your experience is smooth.
The
Golden.
only hard part was when I would go to get a drink, the bar's like here.
Yeah.
And so like I'd be standing there, and it's interesting like watching people because I try not to make it known that I'm watching them, but you would see somebody and they'd be like, and then they'd be like, hey, what do you want? And I'm like, I know what you did, but thanks.
But sometimes I'm assuming sometimes the bartender don't really see you, right? 'Cause they be
Yeah,
up
a lot
there.
of times because they're doing this,
Yeah.
that, and the other, and they're trying to serve as many people as they can, and so they wouldn't. But there was one that I used to go to, and like they had gotten to know me, so if they knew I was there, and I went up, they would kind of be like, "Oh, hold on, let me go talk to her." Like they would know.
Different vibes. Different vibes.
Completely. Well, what about when you go shopping?
So what about shopping? Because there's two different topics about shopping. There's clothes shopping and there's regular shopping.
No, we going to the clothes. That's where the sweetness is at. That's
The clothes
when
shopping.
you going clothes shopping. Yeah.
So clothes shopping is a fun experience. Because there's either shop in the kids department where everything is unicorns, butterflies, and rainbows.
Damn.
And then there's shopping in the adult section where I spend $20 on a pair of pants to have to spend $20 to get them fixed. So there's a balance. Luckily, if I find like capri pants in the adults, they fit me like pants. So it's a win-win for me. But that's just like shoes. Shoes, I wear a kid size. So I get a lot of my shoes offline because if not, they're not.
Cheap. No, you get them cheap
I do.
because they're kids.
They are kid size. Like my rainbows
Oh,
are like
that's-
$20 cheaper than
That's
adult
a hell
rainbows.
of a deal. Hell
Right.
yeah.
Very nice.
But like if I go to like,
You can actually do that. You can actually buy and sell to other people.
but if I like bought a shoe at Payless or something, then I'm fighting Velcro and rainbows and light up shoes and stuff like that. Where I'm an adult, I don't want shoes like that.
That's true.
So it's a hit or miss on clothes because it might fit me here, but it might be to the floor and so on, like a dress. And then I have to get it chopped off.
So do people, okay, when you go to the store, right, and you're shopping for clothes, do people actually judge you going on the kids section? They just look at you funny, give you the eye like, oh my goodness. Or you've never noticed that?
No, I don't really shop in the kids section anymore. I used to. Kind of outgrown it, but unless I'm looking for like a very specific shirt, like a themed shirt, I'll go in the kids section. But now I go in the adults, and like I get looks here and there, but there's some looks where it's like, oh, she saw me, let me look away. And then there's some where they're kind of like trying to figure it out, but they're not sure. And I'll have a few that, like, especially if I'm standing there staring at something that's higher than me, and they're like, do you need help? I'm like, yes, please. Because if not, I got to climb in the cart to get it off, to climb out of the cart. And if it doesn't fit, then I got to put it back up.
So, and that's the same thing when you go to shop. Let's say, for example, if you go to Walmart
Mm-hmm.
and you get stuff from the shelf, how do you do that?
I climb it.
So you still have your stool.
No, okay. So Walmart has the big carts,
Yeah.
and then some of them have the one where it's like the little section and the little section. I love those. I don't know why Walmart has gotten rid of those, but I love those. But I can balance really well. So I put 1 foot in the basket, 1 foot on the shelf, and then if I need to go up another one, I just hold on to the shelf and
And just keep climbing.
keep on going.
What? Spider-Man.
I've had a few people and they like come in right as I'm getting and they're like, "Do you need?" You got it. Never mind. I'm like, yeah, I needed you like 2 minutes ago, but thanks. They're like, do you need anything else while I'm standing here? And every now and then I'll joke about like if I'm on an aisle and I really need something and I don't feel like climbing. If there's like a couple on the aisle, I'll be like, "Can I borrow your husband? I need his height." And they'll start laughing and they're like, "I need his height too." And I'm like, "I need that."
Get that. Yo, that is crazy, man. That's funny, man. Yo, me just walking in Walmart and then I find you climbing up there. I don't know what I mean.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
I mean, true that,
This
but
is true, this is
sometimes you're supposed to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to, because you can fall.
Yeah.
There's
But
there's a chance.
how many times have you gone into Walmart and found a Walmart person when you need a Walmart person?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, they're always hiding somewhere. I don't know. I don't know where they be at, man. But
Especially now when they're filling up them buggies for the people that are getting them in their cars. They don't care about you. They
That's
trying to
true.
fill up them things and keep on rolling.
that's very true. They're always missing in action. I don't know where they be at, man.
I was very excited when my son was able to stand and understand. Like he was probably 3. And I would put him in the Walmart buggy and then push him around. And I'd be like, "Hey, buddy, get that blue one. Get the blue box. The blue box." And he'd go, "This one?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he'd pick it up, put it in the cart. And I'm like, "Yes."
I'm pretty sure. I mean, this is just me asking, right? I'm pretty sure sometimes when the police stop you, they just let you slide, right? Sometimes.
Knock on wood, I've only been stopped once. And I jinxed myself on that one. So it was when I was in pastry school and we were doing donuts that night. And I was like, "Ha ha, tonight would be the night somebody got pulled over." And they were like, "Don't say that."
Yeah.
But see, when I was in school, I went from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. It was night class. And so 11 p.m., my school was an hour away. So it was like 11:30, 12 o'clock coming home. I just want to get home. And so he pulled me over, and I was like, "Do I say it? Do I not say it?" Like, ha ha ha. But I had my chef jacket on and everything. He was like, "Ma'am, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just trying to get home. I've been at school. I smell like donuts. Like, can I just go home?" And he's like, "Hold on, let me go do some stuff." "Okay, you're good. Bye." And I was like, and so I went to school the next day and I was like, "Y'all." And they're like, "Did it happen to you?" And I was like, "I ain't never saying nothing else again."
Yeah, that's crazy. You can actually do donuts. I don't know how to do it. I need to learn how to do it.
There's different ways.
I always watch it on TV. It looks so fun. I need to do it, man. But I don't want to get caught though.
And I was like, every time I get donuts, I'm like, "Don't joke about getting pulled over because it'll happen."
Man, I mean, as much as I see it on TV, they always get caught up. I mean, I don't know who calls the police, but it's always something happens. But anyway, that's a different story, man. What about fights, man? Have you ever been in a fight?
No. I've been in, like, telling somebody I'll fight. I told a senior off my freshman year. He was picking on me. And I went in the hallway and I told him off. And his buddies were like, "Ooh." And the funny thing is, when he graduated, he tried to contact me to take me out on a date. And I was like, "But didn't you make fun of me, like, the beginning of the semester?" But okay. Yeah, no. But yeah, that's the only kind of fight I guess I've been in. I've never been in a physical one. I can't imagine. Now, tiny things are strong.
Dynamite comes in small packages.
See?
You know, you're right, but I'm just in most cases, you'll notice people just like walk away. They'll be like, okay, just a little person. You know, you're not gonna fight that person.
Now I pick my battles on like saying stuff back, if you want to count that as a fight. Um, as far as like if I see things in public or like people saying stuff about me or pointing me out or stuff like that, I pick like if I'm gonna walk away or how far am I gonna let them take it before I say something to them.
Okay.
And then it's always interesting and funny when I say something, they're like, "Oh no, we weren't doing that." Then who are you pointing and laughing about? Because there ain't nobody else over there. Like, please tell another lie. Tell another story.
Yo, that is crazy, man. Because in my mind, I know if I see, I mean, if I was to get into something, I notice it's a little person, I'd be like, yo, whatever, man, just let it just go. And then I remember, okay, when earlier on you mentioned something about names. There's certain names you guys don't like to be called, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah, we talked about that at the gym. So there's a lot of people consider us midgets. And that is a big offensive word because that's not what we are. If you look up in the dictionary, a midget is a proportional small person, which there are proportional small people in the world, but that's not what I am because I'm not proportional. And a lot of little people or dwarves is what we like to be called, or Colleen or Jeff or Joe or whatever our name
By
is.
name.
Yeah, by name. That's what we're called. We don't like being called midget because that's not what we are. And as I always refer to it is, you, like a black person doesn't want me to call them the N-word because that might be disrespectful to them. I don't want you to call me a midget because to me that's disrespectful. And a lot of times I'll let it slide once, but if it keeps happening or like there's been a few times where I've been shopping and there's been kids and they're like, "Mom, look, it's a midget. Mom, look, it's," and like the parent doesn't say anything, I'll give them the death stare. Whoever's with me will give them the death stare. And they may correct them, they may not, but I always make sure I pass them at some point. And I'm like, you need to educate your child. Because one, that's disrespectful and rude what your child was doing. Or as an adult, I've had adults do it. And I'm like, that's not, you don't do that. You don't want me to sit there and be like, "Oh, I hate your shirt," or "You're an ugly white person," or whatever. You don't want me to sit there and say that to you.
That's true.
So why would you point what I have out? And I have always said, and I will stick to it, that if you're going to pick on somebody with a disability, then there's something inside you that is wrong or that you are trying to hide because you're trying to point fingers at my disability because mine's visible, where you might have one that's inside that's not visible and you don't want nobody to know about it.
That's true. Yeah, I can agree to that, man. You're just ugly from the inside. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow. Damn. Don't worry, we're getting to you. We're getting closer.
He's like, "No, thank you."
Oh, look at time. Look at time.
That's okay. This is interesting, right? Now, when it comes to you taking a bath, because regular showers are kind of out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. How do you go about that?
The only time it's really effective, because most things like in a household, I can reach. I might have to stand on my tiptoes or something, but like the shower heads that I have, I just put my hands out and reach them. But like at hotels and stuff,
No, but what if you're not adjusted?
oh,
Yeah.
then I'm screwed.
It's just like the shower head.
Yeah.
I'm screwed.
I'm screwed.
I'm screwed. I have a stick now. I have a stick in the bathroom that I believe my dad made it when I was younger, and it has a little hole in it that I could flip on the light switch and stuff. And I used to take that if I wanted to adjust it and like use the stick to adjust it. But other than that, I'm screwed because one, the bathtub is slippery, and 9 times out of 10, if you're adjusting it, you have it on so you can see where it's shooting at. So that just makes it even more slipperier. So yeah, I'm pretty screwed. I just gotta deal with it.
Oh,
Unless
well.
we're like staying somewhere and I'm like, hey, can you come fix this for me? Or I'll be like, when you get in the shower, can you like push it down a little bit?
Yeah, I'll bring your stool, right? But it's slippery. You gotta be careful. Wow. Have we ever gone and tried to get a massage?
Oh, I love massages.
So did they give you a discount?
No, they should. I should be half price.
Exactly. Like
I
come
should
on.
totally be half price.
Hell
But
yeah.
no, they don't give me half price discounts. But it's funny because, like, they'll
Bullshit.
always go in and they're like, what kind of pressure do you like? And I'm like, give me what you normally do, and I'll tell you if you're too hard or too soft. And it's almost like sometimes they're afraid to put pressure on me, and I'm like, I might have a tiny body, but I can
You can take
handle it. Like,
Yeah.
get these knots out of me, please. Thank you. Yeah, I would love a discount. If you
You
know
should
anybody
ask.
that would give me a discount, heck yeah.
But have you ever asked for it?
No?
You should bet
They would
maybe.
probably look at me like I was crazy.
Nah, I'm like, yo, come on, man, this is half the
That's
job.
almost like
50% off.
Exactly, yeah.
50% off.
It's half the
that's
job.
almost like being a cheapskate. Being like,
Oh,
hey,
maybe.
I only used half of this. Can I just get half of the price?
You never know.
Mhm.
You
Closed
never
mouth
know.
don't get fed.
Yeah, exactly.
Closed
This is
mouth
half
don't
the-
get fed.
I might need to ask that.
Yeah,
next time.
yeah, it's like- just act like it's normal to you. Like, you know, most places I go, they tell me it's half the price, and then they look at you. You know what? Yeah, I've never had.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do that.
I did
No
have
problem.
a massage place. I was actually seeing them once a month or every other month. And they give you, like, you go in a room and you change. And the first few times I went, they were giving me the smallest robe they had. But it was still dragging the floor. So they went and ordered, like, extra smalls on purpose for me. And
Dope.
she brought it in one day and she was like, we got some new robes. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, that's
Were
awesome.
you the only small person who came in
Well,
there?
I asked her, I was like, when did y'all get new robes? And she was like, well, we had a few other people that were kind of short too. And they're not little people, but they're just on the shorter side. She was like, and so we just ordered some new robes so that, like, they didn't drag on the floor. And I was like, well, thank you for thinking of me. Like, that was pretty awesome. Like, you didn't have to spend your company money to do that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay. So,
Oh, shit.
what's up, man? I know you've been chilling the whole time. Everybody
Can't-
looking at you like, who's this guy over here?
Can't call. I'm just
Oh,
listening.
man.
Oh,
man.
hush.
Just seeing what's going on. Seeing what's going on.
It came for the ride.
Yeah.
And
So,
dinner.
And dinner.
And dinner.
so let me ask you, man.
What you got?
How did this whole thing happen?
You guys talk.
Well, there's video. They saw that. Swipe. We talked for a little while. And
Oh wait. So okay, the whole thing started from online, the app
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
We met on
Okay, I thought you
Tinder.
guys actually met physically somewhere.
No, we
No.
met on
Well, I mean,
Tinder.
that came
Oh, so he walks.
that came a couple months
Yeah, it
later, I
came-
think.
No, it was like a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me see what happened was.
Yeah, we
Okay,
met.
so this dating apps actually works.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
working.
I'm impressed because most of the time I see catfishing. The person you're talking to is probably just lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, to me, I always feel because you know, again,
That's 90% of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 90% of it.
exactly. I mean, the good thing nowadays, of course, you got the tech. You can always tell someone, give me a phone number. We can do
Right.
a video call, right?
Right.
But prior to that, that was not the case.
Right.
Until the day you meet that person physically, then
Right.
then it shocks like, yo, hold up, man.
Right.
What the fuck is this?
You can tell real quick if somebody's messing with you or if they're not. Because, like, I've had a few times or a few people that I had swiped, and I'm very upfront. I'm like, okay, call me. Like, let's talk tonight. Let's talk on the phone. And especially if they keep avoiding talking on the phone, then more than likely
Talking as video call or just?
video
Just
or on the
talking,
phone.
period.
Like, because
I mean, I could talk to you. I mean, talking and the way I look physical is different. You're not
Correct.
seeing me.
But,
Yeah.
But
what she's saying,
everybody- I
like a
feel
lot
like-
of people, she's saying like won't even talk on the phone. Like they don't even
like
have
if
the
you
balls
don't
to
even
speak.
want to talk on the phone, because to me, everybody has different accents and stuff.
True.
So like if you have a picture of this or like him, and then he gets on and there's somebody from like the eye, like if you were to talk to me, but your picture's him, that
Suppose
wouldn't
you're-
match.
Something's wrong.
To me,
Something's
that
wrong.
wouldn't match.
But
Right.
that's extreme. Why would you do? I mean, like that's just you being
Which
stupid. You know
would
what I mean?
but that would raise a red flag
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me
of
because
course.
Right.
it wouldn't match. And I'd be like, so then I'd start asking questions of like, okay, if you're saying you live in North Carolina, what part? Like, how far are you from this place? How far are you from that place? Because if you live in another country, you're gonna have to take time to figure out where all these places are.
But
And
you know you have good liars though.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we matched, and within that night we talked on the phone, and we were texting and sending pictures, and like we got on Snapchat and we were sending Snapchats because Snapchat's one of those like you send a picture right then and there.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
So, but you do need to watch because I've had experience where people were claiming they were one thing, and then I called them out on a few things, and next thing you know, they didn't want to talk anymore. And I'm like, if it's not true, then why aren't you giving the receipts, or why aren't you defending it, or whatever? But you're just saying it's true right then and there, so you're saying you're lying.
Yeah, dating apps for me is a no. I gotta meet you physically somewhere. I don't want to go online.
Right,
Online
right.
is just it's a different world for me. So okay, you guys met online. What was you doing online, my guy? You're supposed to be outside in the club somewhere in the bar looking for people.
So all right, now we're gonna have to backtrack again.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
So
Don't go too far.
about 10 years ago, I had a bad car accident from all that on the table and driving.
Word.
Yeah.
No wonder you don't touch this stuff. Oh my goodness.
So I died 3 times back in 2016 from drinking
died?
and driving, trying to outrun the police.
Oh, so you got the good story. Hold up, my guy.
He's a bad boy.
So I tried to chill out, and I don't do too much no more because tried to go legit, start a business, and get things going.
Wait a minute. Let's go to the good
You
story,
were also
man.
with
Yeah.
somebody very toxic.
Wait, he's skipping the
Correct.
good story, the good
Yeah.
part right now. We're not just gonna skip the running away from the police and then we get into to your business. There's so much in the middle right here.
Shit.
Wait, so
You opened a can of worms.
Barely.
exactly, that's the good part right there. So wait, so I'm assuming you probably was driving a sports car. You gotta be driving a sports car
Yeah.
at that time, right?
Yeah.
So and you were coming from a bar, club, something like that.
So apparently I just left sheets.
The one in Fuquay?
Yeah.
Oh, word.
Apparently I picked up another case. I
Oh,
killed the case.
Lord.
I killed the case that I had earlier that day. Drank that by myself, so I went to go restock and passed the cop doing 80 and a 45, and I just kept going.
So you don't even drink liquor. That was just beer.
Yeah, I started at 9 a.m.
So the whole time you're just drinking.
I just drank.
So at that time it was what, like 9 p.m.?
I think it was 1 a.m.
Oh shit!
You had a crazy
yeah,
life.
You have been that time. Yeah, you were toast. Like
Yes. So when they pulled my blood and did my blood alcohol content, I was like 0.3.
shit.
Like there was no blood left. It was just all alcohol.
So, but okay, you were driving to the store to get some more alcohol.
All right, I already got it. I was going to my next destination.
But
going
okay,
home.
but I'm saying you going, you felt good. Like I can drive. I can see. I'm good. Right? Everything is good. You didn't feel like I'm fucked right now. I can't really drive.
Oh no.
You felt good.
Yeah,
And you was driving clearly. Like
You're
I'm-
invincible.
unfortunately, that was a nightly occurrence back in the day.
okay. So you come back. You got your, of course, you got your 12 pack. Got in the car.
18.
Oh, 18 pack.
Jeez.
You got your 18 pack. Now you're driving back home, obviously, right?
I was going somewhere else to see somebody else.
And then the police. How did they know? Oh, you're speeding.
Yeah, so I passed a cop in a 45 doing 80, and he came after me.
Fuqua police.
Yeah, yes.
Or just
Fuqua cop.
you know,
Yep.
sometimes they have state trooper.
Wake County.
Oh, the hell's up with town. So okay, so and then of course he's like, did he turn the blue lights first, and then you were just coming too fast, and then you realize, oh, hold up, that
No,
has to be
yeah,
it.
so I passed him, he hit the lights, and I kept going.
He was like, yeah, I'm not stopping for this
No,
one.
no.
So now
I
became
thought I'd get away. So I made a right, and there's a curve. I didn't make the curve. I ran off the road, jumped the road,
Jump the ditch.
jumped the road, jumped the side street. Car did a front flip. I flew out the sunroof.
oh shit.
Luckily, the cop was chasing me, though, because I died on scene. So he resuscitated me, and then I died again in the ambulance, and then again at the hospital.
Whoa.
Cat with 9 lives.
I've used 3 so far. I got 6 left.
Bruh.
You're not planning on using those 6 though.
The night went from a good night to a very, very terrible night. Like
Correct. In a matter of probably 30 minutes.
30 minutes. So by the time you realize yourself, you probably in wake made?
By the time I realized, I was this was a month after, and I was just being released. Or no, sorry, 4 months after, and I was just being released from the hospital. I spent a month in a coma.
Shit. Okay, what happened to you?
I don't know.
Your body what was your
So-
your body condition at that time?
I mean, I was still fine.
You had a neck brace.
I didn't
on,
break any. I
didn't
didn't break any bones. I think I fractured my neck, but I had a brain injury, so my brain shook around inside of my skull,
Shit.
and it disconnected all the connections for your brain. It was like nothing was talking.
But
So I had-
physically you're good.
Yeah, it's like you see the hole. Like they had me on a feeding tube, breathing, everything. I was hooked to machines for a month.
Damn. Man, I'm trying to picture you in that situation. So now you're sitting in there for a month, and then after a month you felt better. You start eating by yourself, right? They took the tube out.
They took the tube out when I came out of the coma. I spent another month or 2 or 3 months, I think it was, in the hospital on rehabilitation. Learn how to walk. I had to learn how to walk. I had to learn how to talk. I had to learn how to eat. Everything. I had to relearn everything again. I was a 23-year-old infant.
So at that time, laying down, in a coma, the whole anyway, you didn't kill anybody because most of the time we see this stuff especially on TV. They usually the police usually lock you on the bed, right?
Right.
That didn't happen to you,
No,
right?
no.
You
It was just nothing happened. I didn't hurt anybody. Nothing. It was just I only hurt myself. That was
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a him accident.
Did they charge you?
They
You got a
charged me with
DUI.
fleeing and eluding and DUI.
I thought they'll just give you a warning, like,
Yeah,
oh my
right,
God.
right. You would think, right? Like,
Yeah,
all right, you died. Okay, that's good
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
No, the Wake County's gonna get their money.
Of course. It's called
They
business.
gotta get their money.
They're like, now we're gonna hit you double. Now you
Right,
gotta pay
right.
your hospital.
We need some money.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then, so after that, after I finally I regained my competency because I had to give my mother my legal obligations check. She was my power of attorney for a while, for a couple of years after that. So once I became an adult again and had competency, then I had to go to court, finish all that stuff. Then I had to go to jail for a little while, and then
What?
Bing bada boom, we're here.
yeah, pretty much.
Hold up, my guy. You did time as well?
Yeah.
Okay, you,
So-
you didn't go to prison though.
For that one, no, not for that one.
Oh,
That's-
something else. Oh my goodness, this guy right here, man.
He's had a past.
He's the real deal. Huh?
But I
Okay.
wasn't around during any of that.
I can see.
I was not around during any of that.
I can just tell by your expressions, like, whoa, okay.
Well, I know about a lot of it. And we've talked about a lot of it.
Didn't know we were gonna get off on
I
this
didn't know we were
tangent.
going to get on this, but yeah.
But you didn't go to prison, it's just jail, right?
Correct.
Downtown.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
that-
jail
that
is
shit-
not
that
bad.
shithole.
No, fortunately. What you mean, unfortunately?
No, not so. I would if I was gonna be in jail, I would rather been on Hammond Street, not
Oh, okay.
downtown.
Okay.
You would have preferred a different jail.
Correct. Well, it's still Wake County Jail. It's just a different location.
Okay. I mean, you're right. You know better. I don't know. To me, I feel like maybe, I don't know, you know better, but I feel like jail is better than prison.
It's not.
It's not? Prison is
Oh,
better than jail?
Lord, you gonna get in this?
Yeah.
In what ways?
Don't you have more freedom in prison?
The food's way better.
And the food's better?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they go easy on you in jail.
So you only see the prison that they show you on like the locked up shows. You don't see a minimum custody prison. Minimum custody prisons here is the house with the fence around it.
So people are really chilling, huh?
Yeah, it's all good.
What? You every story we hear from people from prisons like, oh, don't ever go back. I'm telling you, man.
I
Like,
think also it depends on like what location you go to, because I
It is.
think
Because
if you
there's
go to
green clothes and there's brown clothes.
Mhm.
Brown clothes is like Central Prison, which is closed custody, maximum security. You go to green clothes like Greensboro or Lumberton, it's chill.
chill. But you don't choose where you're going though. They choose it for you, right?
Correct.
And then I think it
depends on your
depends on the
crime.
state too, because like there's one state that the guy has at his prison. It's like the bare minimum of like what is required.
Correct. Texas.
Yeah, is it Texas?
Texas.
Mhm.
Yo. So you telling me prison is not that bad?
I'm not saying that.
You don't want to go back. You're never
Correct.
gonna go back.
Correct.
Of course, nobody wanna go back. But I'm
Correct.
just saying, compared to what they always tell us, like, yo, if you
So
go to-
yeah, so what you see on TV,
Yeah.
It's
it
not
ain't that
what
bad.
it is.
It ain't that bad. It's,
Oh my
it's not what they portray it to be.
Yeah, because most of the time they tell us 23-hour lockdown. You know what I mean? There's always someone coming
Yeah,
after you.
that's what they try to portray on
Yeah,
TV,
yeah.
which is real. Don't get me wrong.
But
But-
if your pod like does something, then you can be on 23 lockdown,
Well,
right?
and it depends. Yes, it depends on the custody situation you're in too. If you're minimum or maximum or medium, like it depends on what kind of risk you are and what you're locked up for.
And they give you good food, right?
Yeah, food's. So jail food and prison food, miles difference. Prison food is you're eating at home,
Ah,
almost.
almost. Jail food sucks.
Jail food's fucking garbage.
What? Yeah, so the whole time I could tell you I'd rather go to jail as opposed to prison because I feel like jail was a lot easier. God,
No,
it sounds like
no,
jail is tough. Then.
Opposite. It's opposite.
So sometimes all these guys who come from prison, they want to act tough. They just be lying. Yeah?
It's just acting tough.
Ah, come on.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Shit happens. People get stabbed. People get jumped. But what'd you do?
I mean, if you're getting stabbed and jumped, it doesn't make you tough. Now you're more of a pussy than anything. You got beat up and just
Right. right.
You know what I mean? Because most of the time when they say yo, I was locked up, it sounds like you're a tough guy. I mean, like
Right,
I've
right.
been through it. I mean, I'm a tough guy.
Right.
But if you get in
They're-
and you
they're-
mind your business
they're
and all
trying to
that,
put-
then you don't have you
They're
just
trying
start
to.
trouble.
That's the image they're trying to portray.
Yeah.
That's
But you see, sometimes you can mind your own business, but problems follow you around. They just
Right.
Someone will just target you, be like, okay, you know what? I want to try him.
right.
Now you
But,
gotta
then,
defend yourself.
you have the fine line. Are you a bitch or are you gonna stand your ground?
See, that's
And then
that's
if
when
you
you gotta make
but-
that choice.
But then if you stand your ground, then they lock you up for.
that's what I'm about to say. Yeah,
they put
it's
you in
more
the
time.
hole or
Yeah.
whatever.
They don't like it when you it's the whole time.
Yeah.
No, but sometimes you might get new charges. And then
Yeah.
there are
You
time
can.
to
Can,
you.
yes.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to get out.
But I think there are some people
And that's the cycle. That's
in
the cycle.
there that are like in there for life, so they really don't care.
Oh, okay, that's
They
different. yeah.
could add charges all day long,
Yeah,
and they
I
don't
mean,
care.
Of course, if you give me life,
Yeah.
what should I care?
What am I losing?
Exactly. I mean, shit.
But then there's some that, like him, want to get out and change everything and like turn things around and not look at the past.
Shit, bro. I think I'll take the other route. You call me a bitch if you want to, but I'm trying to go home, my guy. Shit.
I just want to
And
eat my bread
that's the
and
right
peace out.
that's the right thought. That's the right thought.
Yeah, because all the got you new charges, then they give you another 20 years. I'm like, God,
Yeah.
jeez, there's no
Not,
going.
not 20 years.
I mean, depending on what you did. If you killed someone, I mean,
then you're at another 20.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Now you
Fights,
fucked.
maybe 30 days in the hole, no charge. You're good.
But if you keep doing that over and over, it probably might give you a longer time.
possible.
You know what I mean? I'm
Possible.
trying to avoid that. You know what I mean?
I agree. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're good.
Yeah, that tough life. You know what I mean? You're not getting anywhere. Tough life. You still need
Right.
more time. I'm trying to go back.
No, yeah, I'm good. I want to go home.
Yeah, I'm trying
Fuck
to go
y'all.
home, man. I'm
Fuck
trying to get
y'all.
out of here. This is not it. Okay, let's get back to the story. That was some good part. So okay, so of course you met her now on okay. What was you going with this story? Because you told us the background before we get to how you end up dating her on the
How
app.
do you start dating?
So, how I started dating?
Like,
Yeah, 'cause you was telling us the
started your
backstory, yeah.
business.
Okay, all right. Shit. All right, now we're here. All right, so after that, once I was able to go back to work, that's been my life until she popped around. Now
Working gym.
yeah, that's what I did. I just went to work 7 days a week and went to the gym.
But
5
why
days a
were
week.
you on the app?
So I wanted to find somebody. She gets lonely.
No. This was the question, right? Because I was trying to figure out how comes you ended up going to the app. You could easily just go to the club, go to the bar, go
So
anywhere.
I don't like to go out and drink because problems arise when I go out and drink. I can drink at home or chill environments. Going out I seem to invite issues.
Oh.
I don't have a foot. I'm not very big either. Apparently, I like to draw attention. Maybe a little bit of little man complex. I'm not sure.
So you actually attracted bad attention. You bringing all the
Correct.
bad.
Correct.
Oh,
Correct.
man. So is it you or is the alcohol?
So, going out sober, I'm fine.
Mhm.
Once I add the big bottles,
It's a problem.
a flip switches, and it just all goes downhill real fast.
You get very defensive
Yeah.
quickly.
It's interesting because when I drink, I don't have those kind of problems. I think I feel better when I drink. It's like I want to talk more.
But I think it's the different personalities and
Of
how
course,
people
yeah.
hold it.
Everybody's different.
Because, like, people think that if I take a shot, I'm going to be wasted. And that's not the case.
It's not
like,
the case, but
just because I'm shorter doesn't mean I'm not saying I'm going to sit there and drink an entire bottle. But, like, I could go to dinner and have a drink and still be fine. And I think it's all in how you
can handle
you can handle it, your body can handle it, how your personality can handle it. Like, because I've seen people at clubs and they get one beer in them and it's like, oh, you need to go home and you need to go home now.
Oh yeah, those are we call them the lightweight.
Right.
Mhm.
Do you drink
On occasions.
on occasion?
I don't go out and get drunk. That's not a goal of mine. But like on occasions, like we went to a wedding and I had maybe two?
Shots?
Two or, no,
No,
beer.
two,
three,
like two drinks,
champagnes.
like a blue motorcycle or
yeah,
a
right.
Bahama Mama.
Blue motorcycle. That's a beast. Yo,
What I don't
what you
sit there-
talking about right
No.
now?
But I don't sit there and like chug the drink like some people do. Like
I mean, true.
we were there for maybe 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I didn't even finish the second one. And that was my choice.
That's what I'm about to say. Yo, blue motorcycle. If you finish two, I gotta bow down to you, man. 'Cause, yo, that motorcycle gets you, man. That drink is not a joke, man.
But I don't sit there and like chug it down when I get it because I've seen people that do that, and kudos to you for doing that. But like, if I'm gonna sit there and do it or drink something, I'm going to sit and drink
your
it. Like,
pace.
yeah,
At
I'm
your
gonna
pace.
do it at my pace. I'm
Right.
not gonna sit there and be like, oh, I got a drink. Like, let's go.
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
And like we had food, but I also kind of plan my stuff out. Like most times when I drink, there's food around.
You gotta eat before you drink.
And I always have, after I have my one drink or my two drinks, I chug water. Like I don't keep going. I have a limit. But
Self-control.
yeah. And
Okay.
I think that's a lot of it is like a lot of people need self-control. But yeah, I've had people and they're like, "Oh, if you give her a shot, she's going to be wasted."
Nah.
No.
Okay, so that's just nonsense. So okay, so you don't like going to the bar or going to the clubs because most of the time, of course, you invite bad energy.
Back to you.
So you figure staying at home and going online is the way to go for you, right?
That's the way it went. I mean, so I didn't have I don't have time to go out. That was so business is number one. Finding somebody was kind of number two. It just happened to work out that I
It
found
was like
somebody.
number 3 because you went to the gym all the time.
Okay, three. Sorry. So
I
work, gym,
I have moved
somebody,
up to number 2.
and it just happened to work out, and we hit it off. Been talking for a while. Been dating for almost a year.
All right. So the first time when you on the app, right, and then she told you, okay, I'm a little person. Did you feel some type of way? Was you like, all right, man?
No, I knew. It was a profile picture.
Mhm.
You saw? Want nothing hidden.
Did you date anybody prior to that? Little?
No,
That was the first one.
she's the first one.
Word. And nothing came into your mind like, yo, this is gonna be challenging. Like,
I was more intrigued of. She told me she was gonna come over. I was like, well, how was that? She pulled up to the house in her car driving. The fuck? My mind was blown. I was like, how the hell did you do that? Like, what? she figures it out. She does everything we fucking do.
whoa.
She might need a stool or some pedal extenders, but ain't no stopping that girl.
He learned real quick that I can, if I set my mind to it, I'm gonna do it, or I'm gonna find a way to do it.
Well, you know what's interesting because I'm trying to picture myself being you. Because sometimes, like you said, someone might be like, yo, let me just try to date someone little because I've never done this before.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is like an experience. I'm trying to see if maybe you thought the same. She was like, you know what? Or maybe sometimes it could be on the app. Nobody wants you. It's like everybody don't want you. Then you're like, whoever like me, I'm going with that one. So in your case, it wasn't like that.
All right, so maybe in my case it was let's try this, and maybe it started as a check off the bucket list, but it turned into
See?
something much more.
Yeah, there you go. That
You
makes more
didn't tell
sense.
me that.
Exactly. Yeah. Because yeah, that's.
Maybe that's how it started.
I mean,
Sir.
okay. And y'all be dating for like what? A year, 2 years?
Yeah.
A year.
A year?
About it. April will be about a year.
Oh wow, this is dope, man.
And we have, since April, we've gone, what, I think it's been maybe 3 weeks not seen, when I was overseas.
Oh yeah.
I think it was 3 weeks not seeing, at least seeing each other once a week. And we've kept communication. Like, there's not been a day that we haven't talked.
Oh, that's good. I like that. I like that.
And we're very open with each other about, like, hey, I have this idea, or this is how I'm feeling, or you're not texting the way you normally text. Like, is everything okay? Like, we're very open with each other.
That's really good because right now, when it comes to a relationship, man, whew, things are tough, man. Everybody's cheating. Everybody's lying. It's so much going on. You don't know who's who anymore. It's like
Very rare to find genuine.
completely. It's almost like you just met Jesus or something. It's like people
Right.
just want to keep bullshitting. I don't know why,
Right.
man.
Yeah. And, like, we joke all the time about at the gym, because I'm sure you see it at the gym, too, where, like, couples will come in and they stick together like this the entire time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think it's funny how, like, we go to the gym, we'll start on the treadmill,
All
and
right,
then
bye.
we split.
Bye.
And it's like, he'll kiss me, or vice versa. And it's like, okay, bye, see you in an hour. And, like, we go our separate ways. And every now and then, like, we'll check, especially after the situation happened, but we'll, like, check on each other and be like, you good? Okay, cool. Like, how much longer you got? But we're very independent separately, but, like, we do depend on each other. But, like, we're not like every other couple that's like this. But that also comes with, I think, age and trust.
Right.
Like, I'm not worried about him looking at people or other women, females, and he's not worried about me.
Wait, you not worried about that?
Mm-mm.
Whoa, shit, it's different. Because a lot of women, like we see online all the time. You know what I mean, even if you walk in this and then there's a female that's looking good coming that way, like you're not even supposed to look at her. It's like Jesus Christ.
Look the other way. Look the other
Yeah.
way.
I mean, you have eyes. I have eyes too. Like,
Right.
what's wrong with looking?
Yeah.
I never understand that part.
No,
I'm not doing anything. I'm just looking. Okay, she look good. Okay, hello. And then we just keep moving.
because to me, if you can't trust them to like not be able to look in a different direction, like if you feel self conscious that if they look at a girl walking down the road, that they're gonna turn around and go to them, then you don't need to be with them.
I agree with that.
Because if you can't trust them just to like look in a direction, then that's
Well, I think that's a lot to do with something internal as well.
yeah.
Very self-conscious.
Very, very, very true, man. And it's very even interesting when you mentioning that when you guys go to the gym, everybody go their own way. Because at the gym, that's when all the females come in
Right.
with the short outfits. I mean, tummy hanging out.
And
It's like,
I'll point things out to him, and I'm like, she needs to go put some clothes on. And he's like, who? And I'm like, you don't see her? Like, I'm giving you permission to look over there. Like, you don't see that? And every now and then he'll be like, oh, yeah, okay.
I think the gym is like the new club right now. If you want to see females, just go to the
Go to
gym.
the gym. Yep.
Yeah.
Go to the
Go to the gym.
Yeah, it's like they willingly want to dress more and more less.
That's the problem though. Is everybody's starting to go there for the club now. When you have people, I guess, like me and a handful of others that we go on a mission to do what we got to do, and we leave. And then everybody in the club in our fucking way.
That's true. I mean, think about it. How many times when you go to the gym do you see like people really is out of shape? It's very few. Like most of the people are looking good. It's like,
Right.
damn, do you even? You
Why
don't need
are
to
you
be here.
here?
Yeah, like what are you doing here, man? Like look at your body, and everybody's showing off. Like I know you see me, right? It's like, jeez.
I know my favorite's when, like, girls go pick up weights, and they're like, oh. I'm like, girl, that weight weighs more than you do. Come on now.
That's true, man.
And here I am, I'm like, get out of the way. Let me do this machine.
I don't know. I like the gym. I'm not even complaining. I mean, I like whatever they doing. That's their problem. I'm on my business, but
Right.
whatever, man.
Music go on, and I got my move.
Yes,
Mission.
yes. I'm on my
Mission.
business. I don't want any problems in there. Wow. Okay. So you've been there for almost a year now. That's good. That's good stuff, man.
Ooh, I got a question for you.
I got a piss.
What was it like when we first went out in public? Like,
Actually, that was my next question I was about to ask
Went out in
you.
public. So I noticed looks. But I mean, that's the only difference than being with somebody, I guess, normal. So I don't know.
And people kept staring at you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. She's the spotlight of attention anywhere we go.
Of course. Of course, you're the superstar right now. So
Right,
of course,
right.
everybody has to be looking. So did you feel some type of when you noticed that? Anywhere you go, people are looking at you and nothing.
So I guess kind of back to that extensive past.
It didn't matter.
Don't touch her. Say what you want. Whatever. I'll say something to you. If you want to escalate from there, we can do that. Other than that, go about your business.
It's just cool. Wow. And do you ever feel some type of way? Because I'm pretty sure this happens to you. When someone wanna come to you, say hello to you, probably wanna give you a hug, and then they'll end up picking you up.
I don't think I've had that happen.
Really?
But I've had people that have come up to me and they're like, hey, my uncle from my dad's side is a little person and he lives in Missouri. Do you know Joshua?
Ah,
And I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
yeah.
Just because I'm a little person doesn't mean I know everybody that's a little person.
True.
And I'm like, but that's like the biggest thing is like people come and they'll want to talk to me. And sometimes it's like, are you just talking to me to have a conversation with me? Or are you being nosy? Or are you being disrespectful? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And so I've had to grow on like figuring out what people want and stuff like that. And like, I'll be like, no, I don't know him. Okay, bye. Like, peace.
You know what? That's I can actually resonate with that because that's the same thing. Sometimes when someone hears my accent and then they can ask me where you from, and then when I tell them, then they just tell you, "Oh, I know such and such." I'm like, So what am I
Okay.
supposed to do? I'm not the only one.
You want me to tell them hi from
Yeah.
afar?
I'm not the only one from my country, man. Like, am I supposed to know everybody? Like, he always turns me off. Like, yeah, I know these other guys from. I'm like, okay.
Okay, cool, whatever.
I mean, I do understand there's people living in that country as well. Like, so what? It's pretty interesting, man. Wow. I mean, your story, to be honest with you, is really, really not that bad. Yeah.
Compared to some that I've heard,
Yes.
especially like when it comes with surgeries. Like as a little person, we go through a lot of surgeries. People don't realize that. And depending on what type of dwarfism you have and how your body reacts depends on how many surgeries you have. I have had I think it's 4 or 5 surgeries from when I was a baby to now. And I actually am supposed to have back surgery at some point for a decompression. But I've been pushing it off because I had a doctor when I was in elementary school. And he was like, you're going to eventually need it, but I'm not going to tell you to slow down. So when you want to slow down, you go get it.
Okay.
And so I've been pushing and pushing because I'm not ready to slow down. And I do come back very quickly from surgeries, but not everybody does that.
That's true.
And one of the biggest surgeries we've normally have is our legs are bowed. And this is also how like the years have come because like my dad got his legs it's called a straightening, and you can have anywhere from, depending on who does it and what kind you get, you can have rods, screws, nails, anything in your legs. I don't have anything in my legs. They had a pin in my leg that was like that long, and they pulled it out when I got my cast off. But I had only one leg straightened, where there's people that have had both legs straightened multiple times. My dad has scars on his legs that are like here, 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 and they're like this long. I have a scar on my upper, I guess that's your ankle, is here, and they're this big.
Jeez.
And it's kind of funny because sometimes when we go to conventions, we're like, can we see what kind of scars do you have? What kind of scars do you have? And like I have a scar on the back of the neck, which I actually didn't know about until I was in, I think it was middle school. One of my friends was like, what happened to your neck? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I went home and I was like, Mom, what happened to my neck? And she's like, oh, you had a decompression when you were a baby. You just don't remember it because you were a baby. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And we're in the bathroom, like she's got a mirror like this. And I'm looking in the mirror and she's showing me. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yes. I mean, since you mentioned that, right? Could you walk us through the process because I know you have a son, right?
Mm-hmm.
Walk us through that process of your pregnancy, being a little person.
So I actually didn't find out that I was pregnant until I was 25 weeks.
25 weeks?
Yes. So I found out I was 25 weeks. I was having a boy. I was having a C-section, and I was due in like 3 months. And I almost
Wait,
passed out.
All this time, you're not missing your period?
So I was already regular, so it didn't like click because to me it was normal not being regular. And so I was like, okay, whatever, going on with my day-to-day life. And I was in college. I was in pastry school at the time. And I didn't have morning sickness. So that wasn't a flag for me. And we were doing the bread course, and I love my carbs. And so I had started putting like a little weight on, but it wasn't like noticeable weight. And I just figured because I was getting home at 12 o'clock at night, and that's when I was eating dinner or eating again before I went to bed, and we were doing the bread category. So like that's probably what it is because I'm not on a regular schedule.
Yeah.
And so I went to the doctor to find out like if everything was cool, and they were like, "Oh, you're 25 weeks pregnant." And they were like, we're going to do an ultrasound. And so I'm sitting on the table, and the doctor's talking to me, and she goes, the nurse goes, you might need to lay down for a minute. And I'm like, huh? And he's like, why? What's wrong? And she goes, she just found out like the top 4 things in a pregnancy at once. And he was funny. He was really cool doctor. I hate that he didn't get to deliver my son. But which I think as doctors too, they have checklists of like they want to do deliver a little person baby, or they want to do this, or they want to do that, because for a long time he wouldn't let me see any other doctor. And then the nurses caught on to it, and they're like, no, you're supposed to see all the doctors because you don't know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
And he told me, he goes, we're going to fight over this, and we're going to fight over it right now, because we're not waiting until we get in the hospital to fight over this. And because I had already set myself growing up that if I had a child, I was going to have a C-section, or I was going to ask for one, because I won't trying to push that out and then have to do an emergency, because I've heard emergencies can be real bad. And so we had that discussion. He was like, you're going to have a C-section and it's going to be on this date. And I was like, okay, cool. He goes, I thought we were going to fight for a minute. He was like, you're agreeing to it? And I was like, yeah, I was going to ask you for one. And he was like, okay, let's go. Yeah. So I went to a doctor's appointment, and they were like, we need to put you in another room. I was like, okay. And so they went in the next room, and I had school that night. And they put a monitor on me, and my mom was like, I don't think we're going home. I was like, yeah, I'm going to school. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm going to school.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't think we're going home. So they admitted us to the hospital to be monitored. And she was like, yeah, we're definitely not going home. And so I had a C-section, which I can't get an epidural because my back is so small that they didn't, and I didn't blame them, they didn't want to try and either miss or mess something up. So they put me under, and my mom was there, and she said as soon as the anesthesiologist said go, they cut me open, popped she was like a little donut, popped that in me, pulled out my son, and she goes, and then I had the hard decision of like, grandbaby, daughter, what do I do? And she said that they were sewing me up and gluing, because now they super glue you, which is really weird. But they put some type of super glue on you, and they were stitching me up, and they were like, come on, Grandma, let's go. And took her and my son away. And I woke up. So before we went to the hospital, we had gone to eat, because it was doctor's appointment. We were going to go look at the nurse or the delivery room, and then I was going to school. So I had eaten. Well, anesthesia and food don't get along. And so I go into the room where my family is and all my friends, and they hand me my son, and my brother was standing beside me, and I was like, here, hold this for a second.
Oh.
And they were like, oh my God. And she goes, yeah, she ate. Because when we got to the hospital, they were like, why'd you eat? Because I wasn't supposed to come here. That's why. But through the pregnancy, after I found out, everything, I had to go to a specialist where they measured him. And for the entire time until the last day, they were like, oh, he's going to be average. He's going to be average. And we're like, okay, we don't care. Like, is he healthy? That's all I want to know. Is he healthy? Yeah. And the very last day, they measured him. And the doctor was like, we can't 100 or it's like 90% that he's going to be average. He might be a little person. And my mom was with me, and both of us were like, and she was like, well, we just have to tell you. And she goes, and? And I was like, I don't care. Is his heart rate good? And they're like, yeah, it's good. I'm like, okay, we're fine. And I had contractions, and I didn't know it because he was so compressed that it just felt like he was rolling. And they were like, do you feel that? And I was like, yeah, he's rolling. And they're like, no, you're contracting. And the reason I had gone in was because when I contracted, his heart rate went down. So that was the only, like, I guess, bigger medical part, but it was close to the end anyways, was that when I contracted, since I was little and he was semi-little, that it squeezed him.
Yo, what a
Yeah, he's 5 foot now. He's a big boy. It didn't take him long to pass me.
I'm assuming his dad is also average height, right?
He is, but he's a donor. He ain't a dad.
Oh,
Because he ain't been there.
do you talk to him? Did you just,
He found out that I was pregnant. Well,
Just
I told him I
disappeared.
was pregnant, and he said, "Okay, tell me when you have him." And I said, "Huh, okay," and didn't tell him because if you're not gonna care about anything else, then why do I need to tell you? And he was 3 months old, and because I had friends that were friends with him, so they knew I had him. And he messaged me and he was like, hey, so I can get him this weekend and take him in a whole nother county and all this. And I was like, what are you talking about? You ain't been there for nothing. You hadn't asked him how he's doing. You didn't ask how I was doing. You hadn't been there for nothing. And he was like, well, he's half mine. I said, well, this is what we can do. We can go to court, or you can go on your way and I'll go on my way, and we'll be that. Never heard from him since. And I've had a lot of people that have supported me on that, and I've had a lot of people that have backlashed me on it because they're like, well, you need to go do this. But you know what? I get him 24/7, and I don't have to fight somebody for 18 years. He's a grown man. If he wants to make that decision, then he made that decision. And my son and Matt get along great.
that's so.
And he's had a lot of male figures in his life that make up for that POS pretty much.
He doesn't have his name, does he?
No, he has mine.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that was a big no-no.
I-
You ain't gonna show up, you ain't gonna get it. Nope.
Of course, you're deadbeat. Of course, you don't deserve that. I agree with you, man. You got any kids?
No,
Okay. Do you want any kids?
I got one.
Aw.
I got one now.
We've talked about having kids
We've talked
later
about it.
down the road.
Possibility, yeah, later on. Once things are more established and working out.
That's all old men say, man. That's always our answer.
Hey, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
No pressure. No peer pressure. Take it easy, man. No problem. No problem.
But like
man.
one of the big questions about when we started dating and stuff was, if we did have kids, would you be there if they said, hey, it's going to be a little person?
Whose question was this?
I asked you.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I
There
asked
you
you
go.
that.
There you go.
And you said, what'd you say? It's a sky blue or something like that?
Probably.
But there are, when we go to conventions and stuff, there are some people that are single parents because the other person said, oh, I'll be fine with it. And then when the medical issues came in or the reality hit and stuff like that, they're not there anymore. And so that is a big piece of like, if this is going to be a step in our future, are you going to be there? Because if not, then we can just end it now. Because when that comes and you said you're going to be there, then I'm going to expect you to be there.
Yeah, that's a big one. That must sound like Trump right now. That's a big one.
Right.
That's a big check off the list.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you need to communicate about that, man. Because I don't know. To me, I'll be scared too. Like, whoa. Okay. All right. Yeah, I like that, man. But yo, guys, man, that's a good story, man. You guys, you're like, I mean, to me, I was expecting some crazy story. Like, yo, this is what happened. I'm like, damn. But
I mean, there was a situation that happened recently, if we want to talk about that.
all right, give us one. At least something we see
You
that's
want me to
crazy.
talk about
Go
it?
for it. Go for it. Blast
So-
it. Get it off your chest.
I've been waiting for it.
Yeah, let me drink for that one.
Well, actually, it's the start of it is it's the same night that I met you.
Oh,
Same-
that you met me?
Same place.
Oh.
Same place,
in the
Same
same
place.
day, same time.
Oh shit! I'm part of the story. All right.
Uh-huh. So I want to say you probably approached me before it happened.
Okay.
And this goes to back where we started, where it all depends on how the parents raise their children. So at the gym that we go to, you had approached me and asked me to come on here and talk and tell a story and everything. Well, it was 2 days later? I think. No, it was the
Yeah.
very next day. Because it was a Friday.
We found out
It was
on
a Friday,
yeah.
and my son had a basketball game at a rec basketball game, and he went home with a friend. Well, he came back on Sunday when I picked him up, and he goes, "Mom, you're on TikTok." And I said, "What do you mean I'm on TikTok?" And I could tell in the way he was talking, because like me and him joke about being short and like get things getting posted, and like me and him had posted videos on TikTok, but he understands like there's a line. And he was like, "No, somebody took a picture of you at the gym and posted you on TikTok."
Oh damn.
And I was like, "Who knows about it?" And he goes, "I saw it." So I messaged mom and I was like, "Hey, can you find out about this?" She sends me a picture. This kid's in high school. And he took a picture. He was in the same area that you met me in. He took a picture of me on the little swing app thing and posted it on his TikTok. And then broadcasted it at his high school. And the people that know me, like the other boys at the school that know me, told my son about it. And I don't think they told him to be hateful. They were just letting him know.
Informing him.
And kind of like, "Hey, did you know that this was taken?" And so we found out, went under complete investigation. I tried calling the gym. He was calling gym. He called, made a complaint. They called back and they were like, "Well, look into it." The manager pulled up on the camera, saw him take the picture, laugh about it,
Oh damn.
put his phone away. Here's the kicker. The kid talked to me at the gym later that day after he took the picture. He came up to me and talked to me. I had no idea he'd done it. But he came and talked. And then we left. And so when we found out who the kid was, he went, or they found the video that he had taken and everything, and they were going to talk to him. They gave him a warning for taking a picture of somebody in the gym and posting it on the internet.
Online, it's an automatic
Online.
violation.
But on their policy, it says that is not allowed. And it's an automatic violation and a removal of membership. And so when we pushed it some more and we were like, "This is ridiculous," the manager was like, "Yeah, if it was my kid, like I would have had him like kicked out. Like I would like to kick him out, but HR says I can't." But then he went back to school and talked about it more.
What?
Because the kids, when we saw him the next weekend, had asked him, and they're like, "Yeah, he's still showing your picture." And I was like, "Are you serious?" So he saw him at the gym one day and approached him because it was still on TikTok. And he was like, "You need to take that off." And, "Yes, sir. Okay, yes, sir." And he took it up. He made him do it right then and there in front of him. And then he went back to school and talked about it some more. And we kept reporting it to the gym. And they were like, "Yeah, we can't do anything else. We already gave him a warning."
Yo, they tripping.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they
And-
tripping for real.
And there were a lot of people at the gym because, like, he's been going there for, 3 years now? And they found out about it, and they were like, "Are you serious?" And so now I haven't been to the gym in 2 months, 3 months
long
maybe.
time,
It's
yeah.
been a while. Because they still let that kid come in the gym. And I'm like, how do I know that he's not going to take another picture? Especially if he's still talking about it.
Yeah.
And things like that. Like, I'm sure in Walmart and other places, like, people do take pictures of me. But it's one thing if you took a picture of me and, like, I don't know about it. But the fact that you posted it on a social media
And it got back to me.
worldwide platform, and it got back to me, and it didn't get back to me through another adult. It got back to me through my son. And, like, the way he talked about it, because even Matt heard him one night when he was talking about, you were in the car that night, he told me.
Mhm.
Yeah, you were in the car, and, like, the way his voice changed and everything. And then, like, I
Surprised
asked
him.
him a little bit later about it, and, like, he was like, can we not talk about it anymore? And he's very defensive with me. Like, there's things we can joke around in public and stuff about. But, like, he's like an owl when we go out, because he's, like, looking around, making sure people aren't, and, like, he'll stare down people. And, but that has been,
Little 11-year-old bodyguard.
he is, though. And then when I'm with both of y'all, I'm like a celebrity with bodyguard. But, like, I think that's happened recently. Because that happened in, just January. That happened in January. Yeah.
Damn.
But again, when the parent, and here was the kicker. So when they called the parent to tell the parent that he got a violation or a strike, the parent said, "Oh, he didn't mean to. It was an accident. It was an accident that your finger slipped and posted it on the TikTok."
Exactly. That makes no sense.
Was it the accident that he took the picture, or was it
Yeah,
the accident that he posted
which
it?
one was the accident? And it's like, no, make your child accountable. Like, your child should have, and I haven't been, the only people that have apologized is the assistant manager and 2 of the staff members.
Manager. Care.
Through you.
True, very true. Yeah, you haven't heard it. You haven't been there yet either.
Mm-mm. And, like, when I went, he kept talking to her, and then she was like, well, I want to talk to her. Anytime I showed up to talk to the manager, she wouldn't, like, she was never available.
Yo, man. Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fair to you.
Mm-mm. But that's the whole, like, people being accountable and, like, teaching their kids, like, nowadays. Because way back when, if that would have happened, like, if the roles had been reversed and I had done that, I probably wouldn't be here today.
Right.
Like,
Get my ass whooped. Nigga whoop my ass. Nigga whoop my ass.
Oh, yeah.
I would not be here today.
Things have really changed.
Right.
And they've not even changed for the good. It's
Right.
getting worse. Oh, my goodness. But I'm pretty sure when they mentioned that, when your son mentioned that to you, I'm pretty sure I probably pop up in your head like, maybe I'm the one who did that.
Well, see, I kind of did when he told me. I did think about it, and then I was like, no, because he asked me, like, I only had his phone to put my email in. I was like, I didn't. I almost expected you to ask for a picture when you were talking to me, but I was like, no, we might get one later, or if this goes through or something like that. And I was like, no, he just. And then when the kids at the other school gave me the name, you can find everything on social media. Typed it in on TikTok, boy popped up, and knew exactly who it was because he was very recognizable that night at the gym.
Oh, I wonder who that is. I didn't notice him.
You would if you saw him.
You would know.
I don't want to notice him because when I see him, I don't want to feel like he's good.
You don't want to be like, hey, I'm going to talk to you.
If we showed you the picture, you'd know.
You know exactly who it was.
I've seen. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
It makes
probably.
sense.
Probably.
It makes sense.
Probably, but I don't want to start judging him. Just stay in the dark with me. I don't want to get to know you, man. Wow. Okay. Damn. On the same day? Shit. What the fuck?
But that was our very first, like, we started dating in April.
That's the only issue.
And that's the only issue and, like, very first issue we've had as a couple.
Yeah.
And, like, to see his defensive side go into, I was like, oh, okay. Like, because if you really weren't into me, you would be like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't care. Like, he was, let me call people, let me email people, let me do it. Like, we're going to take care of this business.
I've been going there for years. I know everybody there.
Yeah, you're right. Right, but he's better than me. I probably love to say that. Just don't worry about it, man. Let's just move on, man.
There's been a few times where he's like, just let it go. They're not going to do anything. And I'm like, but they need to because, like, their policy says this and their rules say that.
Then I have a business and I understand corporate America.
Right. Good
Money
point.
rules the world.
Money talks.
Mm-hmm.
Money talks. It's not even corporate. It's worldwide. Money talks, man. You show the bag, it's like, what was you saying?
What do you need? What do you need? What do you need?
Exactly. So I get it completely. And then for me right now, because people are crazy nowadays, people just want to kill people for no reason. You know what I mean? So I don't want to take that route. You could step up to someone just to have a small conversation, and then it end up being
And it's like people
your
are
life.
like people are on steroids now, so you don't even know if they're underage or
See,
not. And if
exactly.
you go to knock them out and they're 17, but they look like a 24-year-old, then you're really in trouble.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I probably have just told you, just don't worry about it. Just let's look this way, man, because people are crazy nowadays. Oh my goodness, that's good one. I like that one though. Yeah. Well, my guy, it's been actually 2 hours deep.
Oh wow.
man. 2 hours deep, man.
My stomach's telling me.
Oh my goodness.
Any last words you guys would like to share to the people before we end up?
Why you look at me like that?
Because you're the one that said when
Oh yeah, we're down to my business segment now.
you can do your little business spiel.
Forgot. We're good.
Your Matthew Exterior
good.
Services.
Who?
Matthew
And what do they do?
Exterior Services.
What do they do?
Power wash.
Pressure washing, soft washing?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Christmas lights.
Oh, you do Christmas lights?
Yeah.
Do you actually climb into houses and do the lights?
And he doesn't like heights.
Yeah, like heights.
He doesn't like heights, but he'll climb on a roof to put Christmas lights on and go on roller coasters. It's mind blowing.
Oh. I mean, yo.
He might be shaking going up the ladder, but he gonna do it to make some money.
That is one thing I just never do because of height.
Call me. I'll put it
I've
on for you.
climbed on a roof before.
No, not
Oh.
not that. I'm just saying I'm scared of heights.
Yeah, I understand.
Like-
Hey, you want to do Christmas lights?
See, I
you
want
let
to
me
do
know.
roller
I'll do them for you.
coasters, but they won't let me on roller coasters.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh, you do you do the what do you call it?
See, amusement parks
Not amusement
suck
parks.
for little people.
Shit.
They stink because we can't ride but nothing but the kiddie rides. Or they try to tell us we can't ride nothing but the kiddie rides, which is suck.
Yeah, that has to suck, of course.
Uh-huh.
But they usually have the height limit. That's why they have. That's why they deny you.
Oh, I've had a lot of arguments of like, I might not be the height, but I'm old enough that I can choose if I want to go on this ride and risk my life or not.
Do you do the state fairs?
I do.
You still do, or you stopped
Yeah, we went to the fair last year.
last year? No heights. That you can do any ride, right?
There's some rides I can't do, but I'm okay not doing them because they scare me. I mean, the fact that you can put up a ride in a day and a half and then
Very
tear
true.
it down
And
in a day and a
something-
half.
I don't know. I think it's like 2 years. 2 years back, something happened.
2 years back, and then like 5 years back, and then like 6 years
Like,
back.
there's certain
It's always
rides
something.
at the fair that I'll ride, but like some of them, when we look at the height thing, I'm like, I'm good. But like bumper cars and stuff, that one kind of stinks because I can't drive them.
Oh, I like
But I can
those.
ride with somebody, but I can't drive it. What's fun riding with them if you can't drive and bump into people? That's the best part.
Gotta put my extenders on
I know, right? I need to just carry them around in a backpack.
next year. This year. Take them with us.
Oh my god, you guys are funny, man. Do you guys have any handles you wanna plug in? Any social media handles?
You can follow me on TikTok, I guess.
MatthewExteriors.com. Facebook. No Google.
Google.
Yeah, he's on Google.
Yeah.
You can Google his company and it pops up.
Oh, that's the company. Yeah. You didn't mention your company. Dude, speak with confidence so people can actually come to you. Look at the camera and tell the people.
MatthewsExterior.com. Google, Facebook.
Bing,
Got it
bada,
all.
boom.
Got it all.
He'll be in Florida in July,
Yeah.
July, oh, summertime.
but only for a few days.
That's all you need because Florida is expensive.
And it's hot.
It's not bad.
We're going like
Neither one of
the
those are
day of
bad.
4th of July. It's hot.
No.
I'll take that over wintertime. I don't like the cold.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I'd rather be
You're
hot.
always cold.
Exactly.
I'm always hot.
Exactly.
But you have the AC. You can be in the house. You can be in the
Right.
car. You can be in the beach. Like,
Right.
you don't have to be outside just standing in that tree. Like, yeah, y'all go to Miami.
We're going to Orlando.
Orlando's nice. I've been there. I was there the year before. Oh, Orlando's nice.
I'm from Tampa.
Word? That's where you're from?
Yeah.
Yo, they say Florida boys are crazy. Now their story makes sense.
Pieces are starting to get put together.
Right.
Anyway, man, I want to thank you guys so much, man. It's been fun, man. I know my people gonna watch this this episode. It's gonna be super crazy. I know they're gonna be laughing. They're gonna be going crazy in the comments. I mean, yo, the world is yours, my guy. Do whatever you wanna do, man.
I mean, if they got questions, like if they want to ask questions that we didn't get to tonight, and we want to do this again, let them roll.
Oh, trust me. I mean, obviously, I would love to have you guys again. Yeah, that's for sure. Yes, that's why you have the comment section. If they request you guys to come over again, or if they have more questions they want to be answered, yeah, I'll let you guys know. You know what I mean? That's why you have the comment section. They go on YouTube, comment right there, tell us what you feel like, ask the questions you think we didn't answer tonight, or we even ask tonight, whatever the case might be. If you want the son to come here next time, if you want whoever else, you request, we make it happen. The platform is huge, man. I mean, we can
Roll with it.
yeah, we roll it. We do it any day, anytime. So it doesn't matter. So of course, the floor is you guys can come anytime. You're open. If you have more stories to share, more experience, more people with the same story but different story from yours. I mean, because yours is soft, man. My God, yours is smooth, man. Like,
No fucking hiccups.
yeah, I'm like, I was thinking I'll be crying tonight. Like, yo, shit, that really happened to you? Like, I mean, nothing really happened. Matter of fact, we're laughing. So, it's
But I think a lot of it is how you, which we could talk about this another time too, is how you put yourself out there. Like, I'm very upbeat. I'm very happy. I don't let a lot of stuff get to me. And, like, you can ask anybody that knows me or works with me or anything. They're like, we barely see her sad or mad. Or, like, if she is mad, then she mad.
It's just like us, just a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Just like us, just a little bit shorter.
that makes sense. But you see, like this, like you mentioned earlier, the short syndrome.
Right.
Short people, they've been known to have temper
Right.
problem. I mean, so they'll tend to be rude. I mean, most of the time angry for whatever case might be. So you'll expect your story to be like kind of on the left side a little bit.
Yeah.
But yours is it's smooth, man. There's nothing crazy at all. I'm like, wow, what? It's just we're just cruising, man. I was waiting for bumps. Okay, what really happened?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Yeah, it's just smooth, right? But anyway, thank you guys for watching. It's been a good episode. I had so much fun. Thank you guys for coming through. I hope I'll see you again. And with that being said, I'm gonna see you on the next one. We out.
Chafuwa Meza, tuko Nairobi tuna Chafuwa Meza. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza, tuko in the city. Chafuwa Meza, Don Kings in the building. Don Kings in the building. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza, tuko Nairobi tuna Chafuwa Meza. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza, tuko in the city. Chafuwa Meza, Don Kings in the building. Don Kings in the building. Straight from the flight to the club we go. Hold on, I'm lying. Straight from the flight, hit the Airbnb. Chafuwa Meza, I see you, Lemmy G. Kanairo City, tuko home, my G. Don Kings in the building. Tuko ready, rada chafu no way. Tuko gagani watoto my way. Fresh to death, man you got the smell. On the couch, maputano yell. Don Julio.